Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Red Inc. So with set 1.5 literally releasing right around the corner, we're like 2 weeks away now. It's important to know what's going to be meta, okay? Everything that we know from 1.0, most of it doesn't carry over to 1.5 at all. 1.5 basically just power creeps most of everything in 1.0 for the most part and just revolutionize how this game is played. So let's find out what changes are coming. Alright, so as you guys know, 1.5 is essentially just all the leftovers that we didn't get in 1.0. This is a lot of the Japanese sets, a lot of stuff from set 3, because set 3 really power crept out set 1 and 2. Set 1 had, all of our blue, our red, and yellow cards, and then set 2 had a lot of the green, purple, and black stuff, and then set 3 is when we got basically just all these cards that kind of revamped all those archetypes essentially and just excelled them even further forward in this whole new meta, okay? So what cards are we going to be looking at? What decks are going to be the ones that are going to be sitting on top? Alright, so I went ahead and made this little tier list here. So at the bottom here I've got just kind of a list of stuff. We'll just kind of go through these one at a time here. I'll start in the back half. I know some of them are going to be hidden underneath my image there, but we'll show those, don't worry. First up, we got All Force. I think All Force is a pretty solid B tier. While incredibly powerful, this deck is super powerful and very explosive when it goes off. The problem is it's a real consistency kind of mishmash right now. A lot of the cards that are going to help this deck don't come out until set 4. The problem is with set 4 is because you're looking for those tamer searchers, and it doesn't really hold up at that point. Once set 4 releases, then we have a whole new mess of stuff like Chaosmon, and it really just starts to fall off a whole lot more. So I'm putting it in B tier. When it goes off, it's a very solid A tier. The problem is it doesn't go off every game. It's kind of difficult to get there sometimes. So I'm putting it in B tier. Very fun, very awesome. But when you're looking at it at a competitive standpoint of trying to win an all-out tournament, I wouldn't go with something as kind of flaky as All Force. Next up, we'll go to the front here, one you can't see, Alter-S. So this is going to be Omnimon that we know from 1.0 with some new additions. So you've got Alter-S here, which only works with red instead of blue. It works with red and black, but you're going to want to play it in red just because you can combine it with the other Omnimon, so you can have both in the same deck, which is incredibly powerful. We all know how strong Omnimon is already, so then adding in its counterpart here, Alter-S, is just so much more devastating. This is kind of like Volcanicdramon, except even more powerful because it de-digivolves first and makes everything a lot weaker, and then it applies its wipe to the whole field. So very, very cool stuff there. Super powerful, and then in combination with ShineGreymon coming out as well, that's going to be a new level 6 that you're going to want to play in the deck. That de-digivolves a single Digimon by 4, so that's huge. So if they do have a boss, you're thinking, well, this is good for killing a lot of weak things, but it doesn't kill anything big. Well, if you play ShineGreymon first and then this guy, that's how you kind of get around that, is you de-digivolve their big boss that's hard to kill, and then you put the Omnimon down, which takes out the whole field. So super, super powerful, and we're getting some more consistency boosts. We got a second level 5 that's a 2 mana cost evolution, so we got 2 of those now, which is going to be really, really nice. Huge consistency boost for the deck, for sure. Moving on from there, also I want to point out Alter-S is probably going to be the deck that I do play in 1.5. I'm already building for it. If you watch the series that I have, I'm building the Alter-S deck now. As soon as 1.5 comes out, we'll be able to make that full transfer over. But next up, we have Imperialdramon. So blue completely shifts away from the blue Omnimon, because the problem with blue Omnimon is it's like the Alter-S deck, but without Alter-S, right? So you're only like half as strong as the Alter-S deck. So blue completely just wipes away with that whole strategy, while you can still run Omnimon in the Imperialdramon list here. You're only going to run it at like a 2. It's just there. It's nice to have when those games go long. You've already used your Imperialdramon and the opponent's still alive. Then you can go into an Omnimon if need be. You just kind of have it in the deck. But the whole point of Imperialdramon is jamming and just swarming the field and just being able to get a whole bunch of attacks off into security, and they all have jamming, so you just get to keep all of your value, which is really nice. So you don't have to worry about crashing all these rookies and stuff into security and them dying, because you're playing a whole lot of stuff that's got a lot of jamming focus. And so you got stuff like what is it, like Dinobemon and things like that. And so you're going to be unsuspending. You get an attack and then unsuspend, and attack and unsuspend. Imperialdramon gets to unsuspend everything with jamming, so you're going to play a real jamming focused deck, and it's just super consistent. You have all those awesome consistency bonuses that we had from 1.0. You know, the stuff like the Gomamon for the free memory, the Gabumon for the free draws. Now you get stuff like Vmon in there, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. While Gabumon does kind of fall off, Gomamon definitely stays in there. But yeah, so it's just really nice to have this really powerful deck that just kind of takes out all the Omnimon stuff that you had that go into Omnimon for super cheap. You get rid of all those super cheap evolutions for all these new cards that just facilitate the Imperialdramon, and that's what's going to make him awesome. Next up, we'll go ahead and talk about purple next. So purple is already really good. It's arguably better than blue Omnimon, but blue Omnimon does get a lot more tops, I think, simply because it's an easier deck. It's way less complicated. Purple is so complicated, and it takes a really skilled player to play purple well. But if you get a really skilled player playing purple with a good deck that they have, they can beat any blue Omnimon player, I think. It's just really powerful deck. 1.5 doesn't really change too much. That's why I have LadyDevimon here, because LadyDevimon essentially just boosts the consistency of purple, because that's, you know, not an issue it had already. It already has so much crazy draw power. Now the draw power is even more so. It's super consistent. You're also getting stuff like Charismon, and I think purple is just going to continue on in A tier. We still don't have any S tiers yet. S tier is going to be those tiers that just doesn't lose to anything, right? We've seen it before. Blue Omnimon for a long time was in that kind of S tier, but eventually I think it got kind of brought down to A tier with purple, and that's been 1.0. It's been just those two decks, with red Omnimon in B tier occasionally doing well in tournaments, but I don't think I've ever seen a red Omnimon top in 1.0. So purple just doing all the same stuff that's doing now. It's just got a few little extra cards. I mean, not even a whole lot of changes. You're just playing the same deck, essentially, with a few more consistency boosters like LadyDevimon, who I think even now is still relevant in purple decks, you know, all the way up into, I think they're about to get set 5, like, super soon, and it's still just doing phenomenal in purple decks. So that's why I chose the LadyDevimon card there. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about green. So green was S tier. It absolutely was. I say was because we finally got our first ban limit list for Digimon. It finally happened, and it's 4 cards we're getting in 1.5. And I'll go ahead and jump over here and show you what these cards are. The first one was Argomon, and this was Digisorption 3. So when one of your Digimon digivolves into this card from your hand, you suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the memory cost by 3. Its memory cost is 3, so you get to suspend something, and he just digivolves for free. So you get to go into a level 5 for free, alright? So that's already nice, and then you can go into your your level 6s for free with the other card that also got banned, or limited to 1, I should say. It's not banned, it's just is limited to 1, and that's Hidden Potential. The next time one of your green Digimon Digivolves this turn, you may suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the memory cost by 5. So you essentially get to go into that level 6 then also for free. And it was just such a nasty, nasty combo. You can use it with like going to your Charismon, who then if you wanted to use that Digisorption, you don't have to, or you can go into your Magna Gargomon here and just dominate. You just control the field. So you're already playing that green control deck. I've done a 1.0 version of it. We'll make a 1.5 here very soon. It's all about controlling your opponent's field so they can't do anything. And then while they're suspended, then you just get to run them over, or Mega Gargomon here gets to get bonus security attack. Just things like that. You just green controls the field, and they do it with essentially not needing any memory hardly at all to do it. You got so many of these Digisorption effects here. Your level 4 also gets to Digivolve for free. Lots and lots of this coming into play here. So because those 2 cards got limited to 1, I'm just going to drop it down to A tier. I think it's still, I mean, it's probably, I don't know. All 4 of these guys are going to be super amazing. It's going to be hard to tell. So the consistency of it has gotten brought down. So I think it's still amazing. You lost 4 cards out of your amazing 50-card deck. You can't do that busted combo over and over and over throughout the whole game, right? You get to do it once or twice, and that's it. So I think that just kind of evened it out with the others, and so now it's not quite as just devastating as it was before. So now it's just kind of in A tier instead of S tier. Still phenomenal. It'll still probably blow everyone out of the water. Yeah, it's nuts. It's gnarly. Next up is Ragna Lordmon. So Ragna Lordmon can be red or black. The thing is, if you put it in a red deck, I feel like you're just kind of handicapping yourself, because if you're playing red, then you might as well just be playing Omnimon Alter-S. Also, Red Ragna Lordmon is kind of a glass cannon. It's really powerful and can do a lot of stuff, but you just kind of leave yourself open, and that's not what it's about. So I think playing it black is the better way to go. A lot more blocking and things like that. I think I'm gonna have to still put it in B tier though. It's not as impactful. I feel like it's really, really good. It's really good, but it's not. I don't think it's quite on par with these other guys. Omnimon Alter-S, board wipe, you know, that's just incredibly powerful. Imperialdramon just getting to attack over and over and over into security in one turn, while also having jamming, so you don't have to ever worry about dying when they attack into there. Purple already showing how strong it is now, and it's just getting more boosts to how it plays, so it's getting more consistency boosts and things like that. I think it's going to be just as powerful as it is now, just even in the new environment. Green essentially getting to go into a level 6 with like 2 memory is just insane. So that's why it's up in here in A tier. It's just because it can go into all these big, huge level 6s, all these megas, you know, with no drawbacks at all. So it's just hard for these guys to kind of keep up with that, and that's kind of where Ragna Lordmon, I feel like it's in B tier, unfortunately. I want to put it in A tier, but I think it just doesn't quite have that that power, that kick that these other guys have, for just the amount of control and everything like that. Last up is ShineGreymon. We finally have ShineGreymon. Should have been in 1.0. It should have been. I think it would have been way more fun of a set if it had been in 1.0. Literally needed no other counterpart, just a single card, and yellow would have been yellow would have been on par with purple and blue. It would have, for sure. I don't think it would have dominated over the others. I think it would have been very, very, very much a fair card with the other ones. So for it to get released now is kind of a shame. because I don't think it's A tier. I mean, I could be wrong, because ShineGreymon even now is doing really well in Japan. ShineGreymon is still a deck played in set 4, okay? And going into set 5, it could still totally be a just beast of a card. But that's also because Yellow does get some more bonuses in set 4. They get stuff like Chaosmon that you can just splash into ShineGreymon very easily. It's a really powerful card. I think it's super rogue. All 3 of these guys here can definitely beat these up here, but it takes some luck, and that's what I really hate. With the All Force, you're trying to get this perfect combo of all these inheritables, and you're trying to get these tamers on field to get all these combos off. So you have to draw into these like really perfect hands. Ragna Lordmon is, while in black, is really strong, really defensive, and can do some work. I think its offense isn't quite as strong. It's of course not as strong as Red's, but I don't think you're gonna lose as easily. You can lose really fast if you play this in Red, but in black you can control the field while you slowly take your opponent down. ShineGreymon is kind of that class of All Force of you're just trying to stall your opponent out while you build up all these tamers, and so that way you get this really powerful ShineGreymon. So with Rise Greymon in there, that's really helping and helping boost him up even further. But you're just trying to get all these tamers on field while keeping your opponent at bay. And the problem is getting ShineGreymon in essentially set 3, when you're dealing with all these other really fast decks. Imperialdramon really fast, taking down. Alter-S just really powerful, just all around. You can do crazy amounts of damage. You can board wipe. It does a little bit of both. It doesn't do it as fast as Imperialdramon, but you get more control like you do with Green. But Green gets that control, and it can just do it incredibly fast. Just build up into these really big boards. All 3 of these decks there are really fast compared to ShineGreymon, and that's why I'm going to have to put it in B tier. Just because, while yes, if you do get those really nice combos off and you get your tamers out quickly, you can just control the board like that and do those board wipes like Alter-S. Alter-S just gets to do those board wipes kind of for free and without much thought, whereas ShineGreymon, you really have to kind of work for it. I think in set 4 we can definitely bump ShineGreymon up as a variant of the yellow deck. The thing about set 4 is there's multiple ways to play yellow, which will be cool, because you'll have the ShineGreymon with Chaosmon, as well as you'll have the War Greymon, right? That's for yellow. That's going to be really good. And at that point, we can put ShineGreymon in A tier. But until then, I think this is a pretty solid look for what we have to come. And I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to play Alter-S. I really kind of want to play Imperialdramon also. I'm looking forward to playing Purple in the future with Zwart coming out in set 5, but that's a long ways off. That's months and months away before we get to do that, and then Purples will be absolutely devastating. Purple might be S tier in set 5. Calling it now. I have a feeling. Green missed its opportunity for English to be S tier. It definitely was in Japan for a while, but I'm sure it'll make a comeback again. That just got to give it time. Seems like Bandai really likes to, instead of balancing the game like you would think they would want to, they seem to just, okay, this deck had its time in the spotlight. All right, well, now we'll make even better cards for this color. And so now green's in the spotlight for a while. Okay, now we just got to make an even better card for yellow to make yellow in the spotlight. Okay, now we got to make a really good card for purple to make purple the best deck. And so instead of like just balancing the game, they just take turns on who gets to be, the biggest, beast in the room. So it is a strategy, I suppose. It really gets people buying their sets. So that's kind of how card games have to work sometimes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy this type of content, I try to put it out as much as possible, so definitely subscribe. Also, if you really enjoyed the content, check out my Patreon. I have a link in the description below for it. You can get access to my Discord server, as well as if you're a Dragon Village M fan, account takeovers where I help you out with your account. If you're a Digimon fan, I've got monthly giveaway, well, not even giveaways, I've got monthly merch that's specific to Patreon, stuff like memory counters, custom made. This is the baby form of Vmon here. There's going to be more in the works also, so lots of memory counters, all kinds of awesome Digimon merch. So definitely check out that tier, and if you're just all out crazy, there's other tiers if you're that dedicated. As well as check out my Teespring. I've got awesome merch there, you know, official Battle Ready Ink merch. Awesome phone cases for you Digimon fans out there. They've got them for iPhones as well as Samsungs, so they are super sweet. If you've seen the last Digimon movie, that's where these are from. I had a friend of mine custom make these so that way they fit perfectly on these phone cases. They look super good, so definitely check those out. But at the end of the day, if you can't do any of that, just like I said, like the video, that helps a ton, and subscribe. It doesn't hurt, but it helps me. So that's what's the real benefit. And as always, I'll see you next time.